You're watching a SONA special presentation of The Source. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pinky Webb. President Rodrigo Duterte addresses the nation for the fifth time and lays down his legislative priorities in the last 2 years of his term. What priority measures Congress will focus on that will address the long-term impact of the COVID-19 pandemic? Our source today, Senate President Tito Sotto. Senate President, thank you again for your time, sir.
Yes, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
SP, what are you expecting from the President's fifth State of the Nation address?
Firstly, we expect him to concentrate and focus on the recovery program of the Philippines as far as the pandemic and the economic recovery program is concerned. I think he will prioritize the strategies, like the FIST, FIST. This is the Financial Institution Strategic Transfer. And then also the GUIDE, which is Government Financial Institutions Unified Initiatives to Distressed Enterprises for Economic Recovery. And ARISE. It's another program of government that part of the economic stimulus. I think he will concentrate on that. But then, lest we forget, I'm sure he will be also bringing up the issue of law and order and the issue of terrorism.
In terms of the priorities of the Senate, where are you headed, sir? I know that definitely you need to discuss the Bayanihan to Heal Us One, the second version of the Bayanihan to Heal Us One, sir.
We guarantee that we will be very cooperative as far as the economic recovery program of the government is concerned. Economic stimulus package that they have, which I mentioned earlier, and then the accelerated recovery. Mm-hmm. And hopefully investments. That will be the priorities as far as the Senate also is concerned. But then again, there are also bills that are pending in the Senate that we have to try to pass within the 18th or the second regular session of the 18th Congress. That is the Expanded Solo Parents Act, the COCO Levy, the Medical Scholarship Act, which principally authored, that is Senate Bill number 1. Inaunahan pa siya ng Senate Bill number 6, kaya yung Senate Bill number 1. Dapat, And then the Department of Disaster, the amendments to the Public Service Act, which has been pending for quite some time already, and the Agrarian and Agricultural Condonation Act. These are some of the priorities, aside from the economic stimulus recovery programs that I mentioned.
What is your sense, sir, about, of course, when you talk about COVID response, which would be a big part possibly of the government's efforts in the next year, months or years, sir. When you talk about the strategy of the government, sir, it's been test, trace, and treat. And nandun nga din po yung tinatawag na social amelioration program. I wanted to ask from you, are you hoping to hear something else from the President? Are these efforts enough, what government is doing? Or are you seeing any lapses that need to be improved?
Most of the countries in the world were not ready. We were not ready. So we cannot blame, just blatantly blame government, that January, February, we were not ready. We were not ready for this. We should have been ready like Vietnam when they had a problem with SARS, so they continued with the program. So I'm expecting that the executive department now would have a plan, will have a program that will provide for enhancement of what we have learned already, because it was a learning curve. It was a learning process from February to the present, to July. So hopefully, government has learned from these, and we will be able to come up with better plans and programs to handle this pandemic and future epidemics or pandemics to come. That is what I'm hoping for.
And maybe, sir, a bigger budget on the necessary agencies this time around, sir?
Yes, presently, as soon as we resume on July 27, we will be approving on third reading the Bayanihan 2. Bayanihan 2 contains another 140 billion to address the problem of COVID-19. But we will go into BICAM because the House of Representatives has a much bigger budget that they are proposing. But we understand that proposal. As a matter of fact, we need that. But I don't think we can accommodate it in Bayanihan too. What we can do is incorporate it right away into the next pieces of legislation because they are specifically addressing, or the House version is specifically targeting budgets for the Department of Transportation, Department of Tourism, Department of Labor.
Right.
Very specific yung ginawa nila, and the additional budgets are unnecessary, which amount of total of, I think, about 1.3 trillion budget. That is well and good, but we cannot accommodate it in Bayanihan 2 right away. So, in answer to your question, that is precisely what
Okay.
we will support. We will support that proposal of the House, but after Bayanihan 2.
Sir, oligarchs, should we be worried about the president's war against oligarchs in the country? Is there anything in legislation that the Senate can do siguro to institute measures to get rid of oligarchs, if at all that is possible, SP?
It's a term. Oligarchs is a term. Sometimes it's an abused term, but there is no pending bill in the Senate, or yes, I don't know about the House of Representatives, but there is no pending bill in the Senate that addresses the issues of oligarchy. So, very tough question to answer, Pinky.
At saka, SP, parang yung chacha, hindi na po maganda yung dating sa ibang tao pag pinag-uusapan ng chacha. I guess, parang sinasabi, may kaakibat na siyang takot o concern dahil pag sinabing chacha, pwedeng pag-usapan ng extension of term limits, and lots of other things, sir. Maybe even, yeah, go ahead.
Oo, pagka binuksan mo yung Constitution,
So,
ayan na. Ang ayaw ng tao kagad dyan, yung ayaw ng mga kababayan natin yan, yung aalisin ng term limits, at saka, hindi ba, the extension of tenure, yung mga ganyan, ayaw nila yan eh. Kaya nga, mas mabuti kung constitutional amendments talaga. You know, like in the United States, total, mahilig silang gamitin ng Amerikang example eh. In the United States, they have never changed their constitution. We have done it thrice. They have not. They have had a number of amendments. Marami silang amendments, di ba? Pero hindi nila pinapalitan yung constitution nila. Siguro sa atin, yun ang pinakamagandang tingnan lang pag-aralan natin. There are amendments that are necessary. If you want to use the people's initiative, then itong pinakamaganda, amendment to the Constitution can be used ng people's initiative.
by this time po, political parties should be planning already the 2022 elections. Has the NPC actually started preparations for this? Meron ho ba kayong nakikitang presidential candidate? Yun po. Yun muna po. Tapos may follow-up pa ako.
It grieves my heart to say that we have not been discussing it, most especially because of the demise of our benefactor, our chairman emeritus, president emeritus, Ambassador Danding Kuwangko. Di pa nakaka-40th day. Ang usapan namin after 40th day niya, we'll set up a meeting and discuss the future of the party. We will try to make it as strong as it has been since 1992. We're the only political party that is strong enough that we did not even have a president from 1992 to the present. But we were always second best. We were always number two to the sitting political party. If you will notice, all the political parties, pagka nanalo yung sila, ang presidente nila, nanalo, malakas sila. Pag hindi na sila presidente, wala na. Nadi-disintegrate yung membership. Ano? All throughout the 1992, 98, 2004, 2010, 2016. But NPC has always been the second largest from 1992 to the present. So we will retain it. We will want to retain it that way. Or, if possible, we can become the biggest or the strongest political party. And then after that, perhaps we can discuss it. Right now, we have not talked about it yet. Most of our leaders nationwide have not discussed it.
And my follow-up question to that, SP, is what are your political plans?
Well, I have plans of retiring. I have plans of other things other than politics. I have
Ano pa po?
Right now, I have no political plans.
At all, sir? Hindi ko kayo tatakbo? That's what you're saying?
Oh yes, because I've used up another 2 terms. I was elected in 1992, re-elected in 1998.
But you can run for
Elected
Congress.
in 2010, and then re-elected in 2016. So it's my 24th year in 2022. And I've served 4 years in the local government in Quezon City, 2 years in the executive department. I'm tired. But you know, who knows?
So talagang kahit nasa Congress or sa local, sir?
Sabi sa Tagalog, mahirap magsalita ng tapos. So let's leave it
Magsalita
at
ng
that.
tapos. Tama po
I have
yun.
I have no plans at the
Okay.
moment.
Thank you to you, Senate President Tito Sotto. Take care, sir.
Thank you, Pinky.